I'm gay-ish.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish.
The podcast that may put the U and I in stupid, but we still end up with a D.
You can spell.
Wordplay. Letters.
I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz.
And we're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And today,
We are going to talk about dreams.
dreams.
The thing when you're sleeping.
The scene, yeah.
Someone asked I posted about this on Instagram, and someone asked if it was like the goal or of sleeping. And I said, no, this is our favorite time of day that we're going to talk about, dreams.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was goals.
Stupid.
But first, it's not quite a correction, but I did want to talk briefly about the fact that Rami Malek is on the cover of The Advocate.
Huh.
They have named him their top. He's on the list of top entertainers of the year because, at least according to this super gay magazine, they didn't make a lot of judgments. In the article, they didn't make a lot of judgments about the movie, but they said that he was amazing, and maybe we should cut him some slack.
We did get a lot of comments about...
Like, shut your hole if you haven't seen the movie?
Yeah, which I'll just point out that we talk about a lot of shit we've not done or seen. So, like, I actually read a ton of articles.
I would do Rami Malek.
For sure. That was very important to interrupt my deep statement with, no, that's fair. He could take the homosexual out of me with his dick. I don't know. But yeah, I read a ton of articles about it, and I will also say, like, I didn't think, like, I think it's not as homophobic as it seemed on the surface, because it did show the relationship. The problems that I have with it, based on one of the critics that pointed it out, is making HIV the defining thing about him and the thing that brought everyone together, because that's not true, and making his gay relationship the villain.
Yeah.
And that, I don't think either of those are a good reflection of his life. So I stand by, I need to see the movie still, but based on critical reviews that I read articles about, I stand by what I say.
Okay. Well, Rami in the article talks about how he felt like he really needed to understand Farouk, who ultimately became Freddie Mercury. That was
I'm going to drop some knowledge because I'm smart.
Shut up.
You shut up.
But he said, and at least for him, that included his sexual orientation, which made me wonder if maybe next time I could help him study.
Did he fuck a dude for this part?
I mean,
if he really wanted to be Freddie Mercury, he would like have a line of chorus boys, old age appropriate.
You're going to say a line of coke.
Take your pick. Either age appropriate. Chorus boys was a weird example to give.
So some news then. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We should talk about Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah. I was up last night responding to tweets on his timeline.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Like what? So just to like let everybody know what's going on in case you aren't in America or care or like listen only to us for your news.
Oh no. Oh no.
Kevin Hart was slated to host the Academy Awards, and he's an African-American comedian, and apparently back in the day for several years or several tweets worth said a lot of negative things about gay people, some bad jokes about gay people, the most egregious of which was that if his son were gay, he would try to beat it out of him.
Yeah. And called a lot of people faggot on Twitter. Like, those weren't even jokes. They were just like, you're a faggot. Like, there was no joke to it.
So all of this sort of came to light when he was announced as the host of the Academy Awards. Got a lot of pressure for it. He issued a apology, not an apology, like video. And
I didn't watch the video.
And then he quit.
Okay.
So he wouldn't be fired, probably.
Okay. So they said you can either apologize or step down. Like, those were the options. So he stepped down and then did his apology?
Okay.
I don't understand. That's part of the weirdness about this. Like, I don't understand his motivations if he's going to do some kind of apology. Why didn't he do that before and not after and still host?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, Mike, why didn't he?
I mean, maybe he's dumb.
That's very possible. Celebrities are not what they appear. Maybe he has no heart. So I saw a bunch of comments, which the big thing is he has apologized for this in the past. But again, like, it seems it had seemed pretty half-hearted in the past as well. And the fact that those tweets still existed.
That's true. Like Twitter 101, if you're getting shit, delete it.
Yeah. So and some people are pointing to the really short time frame that this happened in, of his team didn't have time to go back and delete those tweets when he was selected.
His team. I want a team.
A social media team that are just like, pew, pew, funny picture, do, funny quote, boo, do, do, do. You walk into a social media manager's office, it is just
finger guns and beeping.
Beeping all over. That's how they work. So it was... I talked to a few people, and like one of the people my goal is to be respectful in these. I hate just like angry arguments that's like, you're dumb, because I was trying to have productive dialogues. I was asking people like, oh, okay, why do you feel this way? Or why don't you think? And like I had this long conversation back and forth, and what it got down to with one person, they totally supported gay people's rights. They just said, I guess I don't give that much credence to what celebrities say. Which I disagreed with on that. I think celebrities have a big impact. So calling someone a faggot when you're a celebrity, a lot of kids can hear that.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing after getting into it was like, this person was so totally supportive of gay people, hated the people that don't support gay people.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting how close we were to the same page.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wouldn't have known that had I not had that discussion.
Wait, a productive discussion on the internet?
And after that, I was like, thank you so much. Yes. It was like, thank you so much. Even though I disagree with you about this point, sounds like we're actually pretty close to the same page. Like, so that's cool. Like, thank you. That's cool.
Yeah. This whole thing too brings up this perennial concept that yes, you have First Amendment rights, but the First Amendment does not protect you against the consequences of the shit you say.
Exactly. Why does he? It's like people would say like, oh, he doesn't have to apologize. And it's like, he doesn't have to apologize. You're right.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, we're still going to think he's shitty. Like, yeah, I completely agree that like,
he doesn't have to apologize. He also doesn't have to host the Academy Awards.
Exactly.
So,
I agree that people often conflate the First Amendment and reaction to what they say or do.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, moving on. You ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Next. So, Trump's new Attorney General nominee. Uh-huh. Are you familiar with this?
The people were not pleased.
Yeah, William Barr is Trump's nominee to replace Jeff Sessions.
Barr sounds like a president from like 1800s.
It was Taylor, Tyler, Polk, Bill Barr.
Anyway.
So he was U.S. Attorney General under George H.W. Bush, who died.
Mm-hmm. Soup's dead.
From 91 to 93. And he's now up to be Attorney General of the whole shebang. No, I'm wrong about that. Holy crap. Okay. He's been Attorney General before. Did I know that? Did we know that? Is that like
You're the first person to uncover this. Get your news first.
Anyway,
from Gayish.
He's just awful.
Why?
He hates gay people. Just last year, October of 2017, he wrote an article for The Catholic Lawyer. Did you know that that's a magazine you can subscribe to? The Catholic Lawyer, in which he said that attention to the homosexual movement is bad. It's ruining the country.
I'm going to have a homosexual movement on his face.
He attacked the use of District of Columbia law to compel Georgetown University to treat homosexual activist groups like any other student group. Like that's horrible. He said secularists use law as a weapon by passing laws that affirmatively promote the moral relativist viewpoint. This kind of law declares in effect that people, either individually or collectively, may not make moral distinctions or say that certain conduct is good but another is bad.
How recent are any of these things? This is always what I wonder. Like,
he wrote this in October of 2017.
Well, that's pretty.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily always think that people have changed their mind since like 10 years ago, but sometimes I just think they've gotten smarter about, people kind of like the gays, so maybe we should shut the fuck up.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's why I asked, but all right, well.
So he's said a whole bunch of things that are really problematic. He said that the separation of church and state is a moral lobotomy.
Whoa.
Yeah. But I think the worst thing that he said actually is this rising idea that religious people are being discriminated against by being told not to be fuckers.
Yeah.
He said, quote, it is no accident that the homosexual movement at 1 or 2% of the population gets treated with such solicitude, while the Catholic population, which is over a quarter of the country, is given the back of the hand.
Oh, those Catholics
Those poor Catholics.
All Catholics matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that just because, like, when people get mad at PC culture, it's because they can't say whatever they want anymore, or they've never been a part of a group that has been attacked and marginalized. So they're like, oh, this must be what you feel like right now. Oh, yeah. I feel so sad that I have to treat people equally and not call them whatever I want.
Yeah.
Or I actually see this with atheists, who I am an atheist, and like, but I'll see atheists rightfully. I agree with them that there are a lot of things that like people think there's some, I think some state laws still require you to be like religious in some way or Christian to
swear
hold
on a Bible.
office, or all that shit. So I know that like we need to make progress on equality regardless of your religion or non-religion, but atheists feeling persecuted is like, okay, you don't put yourself on the same page as gay people, or much less any other group that,
Yep, absolutely.
People just, I think they see other people that quote unquote get to use, like, I am persecuted against, you have, like, stop this, we demand this, and they're left out of that feeling of, what's that feeling?
Attention?
The attention, the
specialness?
I get to feel bad for myself. What's that called?
Oh.
There's a word for it that I can't think of right now.
Yes, let's think about this.
And I'll edit
You're
it in
a writer.
once we think of it. But I don't have to think about it on the spot. I can
self-pity.
Yeah.
Righteous indignation.
Indignation. Indigenous. No. Indignant.
Indignant.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Okay, great.
They want to be indigenous and indignant and insufferable and insidious. They want to be the movie.
Inseparable
from church and state.
In salad. Like chopped up carrots. Okay. Yeah. So Bill Barr is a terrible person, at least when it comes to gay people. Fuck that guy. I really hope. I mean, he's going to win. The Republicans have expanded their majority in the Senate, so there's really almost no chance that he won't get approved. So the slow erosion of the orange taco seasoning that is our president continues. Next, I saved the best for last. This is my favorite ever. Okay, so
wow.
I didn't know that this was a thing that existed, but there's the Game Awards, and apparently they're kind of a big deal. And at the
Video Game Awards?
Yes.
Okay.
So at the Game Awards 2018, the best esports player winner was Dominique Sonic Fox McLean. Sonic Fox in quotes because that's his handle or whatever.
McLean, still, that's a pretty badass last name.
Yeah. So he's gay, he's black, he's a furry, and gave his acceptance speech with his furry head on.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, just the head?
Just in full furry.
Full furry?
Full furry. He accepted his award full furry. The 20-year-old prompted rapturous applause by telling the audience in Los Angeles and millions of online viewers that he was, quote, super gay after accepting the award from actor Joel McHale.
Oh, nice.
The gamer, who won his 4th Evolution Championship Series title by triumphing in the Dragon Ball Fighter Z section, added, quote, I want to give a super shout out to all my LGBTQ plus friends that have always helped me through life. And guess all I gotta really say is that I'm gay, black, a furry, pretty much everything a Republican hates, and the best esports player of the whole year, I guess. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
And then on Twitter, he got a bunch of hate. Of course he did.
Of course.
From conservatives. And so he tweeted, damn, I made a lot of right-wingers angry today. To them, all I have to say to you is, suck my fucking dick. Y'all have literally oppressed me my whole life and the livelihood of me and others, yet I still made it here.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Like, video games are a place where you can literally be anyone, but that doesn't help or hurt you when you're like shooting guns at people in the whatever. Oh, okay. Mike is now showing me a picture, and now I understand why his middle thing in quotes is like Sonic Fox.
Yeah. But isn't he handsome? He took his head off.
I was like,
do,
he has a very nice...
To do a bunch more of the speech.
Oh.
Yeah, hello.
I might be a furry too now.
Yeah, I can play my joystick.
You can press my A button.
Yeah, anyway, he's a badass. I fucking love this guy. Congratulations on kicking everyone else's ass at video games and for all of the middle fingers that you've been giving.
Nice. I love it.
Nice. Go. Do it.
I wanted this something unusual. I have just I have recently been clawing my way out of my dark depression. So now I can have a little bit of perspective, and I wanted to just say, because I think we have listeners who have heard us talk about a lot of different mental health issues and then have also said to us, we have those too.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to take a little moment to say, whatever you're going through, whether it's depression or bullying or parents kicking you out or anything you're going through, it is not your fault. And I saw this really good quote that I posted on my Facebook, but wanted to share. It's from a Reddit user, your_nameless_friend. And they have these really cute, uplifting things. And it says, "Some days are just bad days. Remember that it's the days that are bad, not you." And that was really helpful to be you're in a shitty situation. You're dealing with a shitty thing someone said or did. That doesn't make you the bad person.
Yeah.
It's just a shitty thing that's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to say that. I wanted to say, just everyone be cool. Let's all just be chill. I think about that all the time. Be cool. Smoke a little weed. I did that before. But just I just wish everyone was just be nice to people.
Be excellent to each other. Bill and Ted were right.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Bill Gates and Ted
Nugent. No, not that guy. Fuck that guy.
I don't know. Okay. Do you want to talk about dreams?
Let's talk about dreams. Ooh, dreams.
We're gonna
wait. Should I put the?
Is there a dreamy voice effect?
Maybe.
Hey, sound guy, you're supposed to have these memorized.
What's number 14 do? Let's find out. Hello.
Are we in a dream?
No.
Nope. We're in a. Oh, hello. I'm a robot in your dream.
I am here to turn in your math homework, but then forget. You're not wearing pants.
Weird.
That
Okay.
was the dream robot.
Apparently that's a button I have.
Can you imagine if we just recorded the entire podcast in robot voices? It would be horrible, and I would kind of love it. Okay.
Great. Sorry.
No, I mean, we have that yellow button there that we don't ever use. So.
Yep.
Can I start?
Do it. Start it up. Bring it.
I have information and some data.
Oh.
So, I wanted to start just by talking about dreams in general and the science of dreams real quick. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
This is a brief overview.
I'm already falling asleep. Is this a dream?
Oh!
Or a nightmare?
If this bores you, play this while you're going to bed. Dr. Patrick McNamara on a website, Psychology Today, said REM sleep is associated with prolonged erections, which I knew that, in the male, and clitoral engorgement and pelvic thrusting in the female.
Wow.
I didn't know that because I'm not a lady. Maybe they don't know either.
I will say I can tell when my mental health is improving because I'll wake up with boners.
Oh, huh.
I don't know if that has anything to do with what you're talking about.
That's really interesting. No, I think the good thing about dreams is no one knows what the fuck's going on, so I think everything is relevant.
Yep.
So it's not studied that much, but Freud, even though of course we know that there was a lot he got wrong, he actually was really close when he talked about dreams, about it's something about your subconscious that you're trying to process, but his was a little bit more let's find all the symbolism of all the shit, which is kind of true. But according to science says that
Mr. Science, Dr. Science,
Dr. Science, he has a postdoctorate in science, because of course, says that libidinal desires, so sexual desires,
libido,
libido. Our thought. There are so many words in here. Hold off before
great.
anything happens. Okay,
I can't wait.
Okay, libidinal desires are thought to be controlled by your mesolimbic cortical dopaminergic systems. Dopaminergic? Dopaminergic. I just had the wrong emphasis. So that's the thing that controls your libido. They're heightened during your REM sleep, which might be why ladies pelvic thrust against the pillows. At the same time, the prefrontal cortices regulate aggressive and libidinal desires. So that's usually what regulates that during the day. Though during REM sleep, those are weakened. So you have the state where your libido is heightened and the thing that regulates that or controls that is weakened and your body can't do anything about it. So that's why you have dreams, to like be able to fulfill those desires.
Which makes me wonder, if you're a sleepwalker, if you're also a sleep fucker.
Oh no!
Because like the
That's
reason
dangerous.
the reason you don't act out your dreams is because there's like this part of your brain that activates itself that paralyzes you.
Oh.
So some people will wake up and that part hasn't turned off yet, and they are paralyzed, and it's terrifying.
That sounds
but,
terrifying.
Like they're awake, but their body can't move because that part of your brain that pushes pause on your body has malfunctioned. So people who sleepwalk have the opposite problem. Their body doesn't pause. So
They're still walking around and their libido's still like, yo.
yeah,
I got
check out my dick.
and the part that like the gatekeeper's like asleep and left the door unlocked. Oh no. Okay, so now we get to the studies. Study one. Because there aren't that many about this. So there is a study called Sex Dreams, Wet Dreams, and Nocturnal Emissions.
Yeah.
I love when they're like creative titles to studies. It's like, oh, these academics have fun too. They go crazy. They put a pun in a sentence.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Trevor used to write all of his papers, and the titles of all of his papers were the titles of Buffy episodes.
That's hilarious. Okay, this was by Calvin Kai-Ching Yu and Wai Fu from Hong Kong Shu Yan University.
I thought you were going to say Cleveland.
From Toronto. And they questioned 58 college men. So unlike past studies, they asked these men like in a lot of detail about different types of sex dreams. So like it wasn't just like yes or no, have you had a sex dream? So most had dreamt with vaginal sex with a woman.
Boo.
A third, because you're like excited for them to be dreaming about fucking dudes, right? I am. A third of the time, the woman in their dream was a female teacher. Makes sense. 10% of the time, it was their mom. Have you ever had
That's so disturbing.
I know, right? Have you ever had a sex dream about a family member?
Okay, remember before we started recording when I asked you if you were going to talk about wet dreams?
Yeah.
And now here you are talking about wet dreams when you said
I'm
no.
not really talking about wet
That's
dreams.
literally what you've been talking about.
No,
for,
these are just dreams. Some of them wet, some of them dry.
Okay. Great.
Is that what we call non-wet dreams? Dry
the full
dreams?
moisture array of dreams.
Medium soft, like.
So let's combine segments because I think that we're both like this is good.
Well, I'm almost done.
Oh, okay.
So can I do the rest of these things and then turn over to your wet stuff?
Sure. Yeah.
Wait. So should I not ask you this? Have you ever had a dream about a family member? Sex dream about a family member?
A sex dream about a family member. I think you'd have to define family member because
however you want to
like
interpret
hot cousins. Yes.
Okay.
Like immediate family. No.
I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very uncomfortable.
I'm sure.
It's like I'm like, but I don't. No, I really don't. But
I don't want that.
I really don't want that. But
I've
have
had sex dreams about things I definitely don't want.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
That part's disturbing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, 12% of the straight participants said they had gay dreams.
Okay.
Gay sex dreams. Which I was looking online, and it's just like all these people posting on Quora and Reddit and all these places like, I had a gay dream. Am I gay?
Yeah.
And, so there's always one joker that's like, yep.
Yep.
Yep. But,
Come find out.
yeah. I got a penis. You got a penis. Let's see what happens. And on average, how many sex dreams per year do you think people have? Say a number. Say a number. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say a number.
1.
Are you Price is Writing me?
Yes.
Well, spay or neuter your pets then. Before we go to the Plinko board.
Is Bob Barker dead yet?
Oh, he stopped doing Price is Right, but that doesn't. He can still be alive.
He stopped doing
and
Price is
quit.
Right like a million years ago.
Yeah, he's alive in all of our dreams.
I wonder if he's had a sex dream about his mom.
Ew, I hope she was alive in the dream because his mom is definitely dead. If there's one thing I know for certain, people have on average 9 sex dreams a year.
Okay.
Which I actually I would think it'd be more common, especially for men. But at least this group, 9 per year.
Sex dreams.
Which that kind of lines up for me. I don't feel like I have a ton.
Okay. But you have them.
Yeah.
So let's talk about wet dreams.
Are we getting wet?
Nocturnal emissions. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's interesting to me that you make a big distinction there, like that there's wet dreams and dry dreams when it comes to sex dreams. And I guess you're right. I just hadn't really thought about it that way before.
Oh, really? Because I think of, I know this isn't necessarily the case, but I think of a wet dream as something that I went through during puberty.
Yeah.
And didn't know what it was. And there was once I just made my bed over it because I was too embarrassed. And I didn't think that through. And that's ew.
My dick gave birth to a jellyfish. Nobody look.
I was, at that time, believe it or not, I was very good at covering things up.
Yeah.
And pretending they weren't there.
I bet.
Somehow they always came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, wet dreams probably happen to adults too, right?
So here's the thing. I do not remember ever having a wet dream. A wet dream where I woke up and there was jizz around me or it was coming out of me, because apparently both happens. Like people wake up and they're like, "Oh, there's evidence that I had."
Yes, that's what I've had, and I thought I wet the bed, because I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
In the study, the thing I didn't mention is 80% of them reported having had a wet dream. So yeah, not everyone has those,
But you have.
but I have.
Recently? Like, do you still have them?
No, only during puberty. Like,
Is that
as a horny junior high kid or whatever.
so? Okay, first of all, quick aside.
Okay.
The Wikipedia article on nocturnal emissions is disgusting.
Wait, why?
One big reason is I'm going to read the caption of this photo, and I don't know,
Okay.
there's a photo, the caption to which is, "Underwear contaminated by wet dream. 12-year, 7-month-old boy's upper ejaculation point and lower post-ejaculate emission stains." So there's little boy jizz stained underwear on
boy.
the Wikipedia page for nocturnal emission. I don't know how they got away with that, or if that maybe I'm the fucker for fucked
For
up
even thinking?
for thinking that that's fucked up.
Do you
I don't
think
know.
pedophiles love science? Because they can that's a reasonable way they can. Ew. Okay.
I found it very, very disturbing. But
that is odd.
I took one for the podcast and read the article anyway.
Your bravery knows no bounds.
Thank you. So 83% of men experience nocturnal emissions at some time in their life.
Oh, I stole your data.
It's-
Where's your
it's
data
fine.
from?
It's fine. Wikipedia.
No, where's your what they has to quote a source? No, you don't get to click on the button. Never mind, I don't care.
Oh, Alfred Kinsey. That's interesting. I'm glad that you had me do that.
Yeah, he made a scale
Yeah.
that we all stand on.
So 15-year-old males apparently have them about 0.36 times per week, or once about every 3 weeks or so.
That's why I call all 15-year-old males I meet cum factories.
Yep.
No one feels weird about it.
No, it's fine. You put their
totally
underwear
cool.
on Wikipedia, apparently.
Yes, it's totally cool.
And all the way up to married 50-year-old males once about every 2 months.
Oh, wow.
But what I wanted to talk about is this, is there something wrong with me?
That you haven't had them?
Yeah, I don't remember having them going through puberty. I definitely don't have them now, even though like the Wikipedia data suggests that people like men, full-grown men late into their lives have them still.
I guess just I've heard that I just assumed that people had them older because I just like have to assume that happens sometimes. But mostly I hear about this around puberty. And like, I mean, the data says like, although what you've gone through is less common, it's still, somewhere around 20% of people have experienced what you've experienced. So I don't think so. Does it say anything about like, is that bad for you if you haven't had them?
Well, here's where I like start having conspiracy theory or whatever.
Oh no.
I swear to God. Have we talked about my testosterone stuff?
Yeah.
A little bit. Low, mostly low. Like the high lesbian range is where my testosterone naturally wants to be. And that I've had doctors that put me on it and then take me back off of it because apparently medical science doesn't agree on what is a healthy amount of testosterone or when it's a problem and should be supplemented or not. And of course they're super nervous about like meatheads who just want it so that they can get jacked, blah, blah, blah. But apparently testosterone levels directly correspond with how many nocturnal emissions you have. So, and men who take testosterone-based drugs drastically increase their nocturnal emissions, self-reported. So 17% of subjects with no treatment to 90% of subjects at a high dose of testosterone have wet dreams. So I'm taking that as a sign that like my thought that like my testosterone is low and fucked up and that's why I have a low libido is like accurate.
Might be true. Yeah, so that makes sense. So that actually might be a good, although it's not a guarantee, if you haven't had a wet dream, might be worth checking your testosterone levels the next time you get your physical or whatever. And just.
Plus, I'm 40 now. The doctor has to put his finger up my butt.
Oh, every year from now on?
Yeah.
Lucky.
I know, right?
Hello, I'm Kyle. I'm 40. Wait, let me see your finger. Oh, that's nice. Okay, yeah. I'm 40.
Hey, Doc, you should really check. Try 2 fingers. Just, I know that might be unusual, but just trust me.
You're gonna need way more lube. I brought my own lube. I pre-lubed my asshole for you, doctor. You got to take out the plug before you put in your. Okay, don't. Mess
and Dr.
with
McFadden, if you listen, please stop. And I need a hotter doctor.
Oh,
my doctor is very nice, and I like him. And there are hotter doctors in that office.
And you just follow them around. And, will you be my doctor?
I had 2 more things to talk about, all in the wet dream category. Okay, great. So first, LaBerge, Greenleaf, and Kederjirski in 1983 did a study to determine the extent to which subjectively experienced sexual activity during REM lucid dreaming would be reflected in physiological responses. And they found this woman who is apparently just a champ. So
wait, say what that stuff that you just said means.
So lucid dreaming is when you are asleep and you are dreaming, but you
control.
know that you are dreaming and in control of the dreamscape.
Yeah, usually when you're like, oh, great, now I can fly.
Right.
Pew.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to be good at that.
Oh, me too.
I've even practiced sometimes. But
yep, there's like a whole subreddit on it that I've thought. I'm sometimes like, there was one time when I was like having this really great orgy in my dream, and I woke up and I was like, closed my eyes. I was like, no, go back there. Let's go back there. And it kind of worked.
Wow.
But I didn't actually like, it's always like something's a little bit like away from me. Like even in those situations, it's not like we all had sex and it was great. It's like, I was close to it, or like they wouldn't let me in, or like
yeah.
So it's a little less fulfilling. Anyway,
dream logic is so fucked up.
It's so stupid.
Anyway, there's this chick who's so good at it.
Uh-huh.
You know the part that I was talking about before that pushes pause on your body?
Yeah.
It doesn't work on your eyes, which is why your eyes flicker when you're in
move
REM
back and
sleep. They
forth.
move all over the place. So they taught her, or she learned, whatever, how to control her eyes while she was dreaming.
Oh, that's creepy.
And so,
and she also is the exorcist.
Yeah. Right. But they called for her to make a specific eye movement when she realized that she was dreaming.
Okay.
When she began sexual activity in the dream, and when she experienced orgasm. So they put her under, hooked her up with all of the electrodes. Yep, she's asleep. Oh, her eyes are moving. She moves them in a specific way that says, yep, I'm asleep and I'm dreaming and I know it. Time to turn on the machines or whatever. Anyway, she bangs She lets them know that she's banging while she's asleep. And during the 15-second section of her physiological record, when she signaled as the moment of orgasm, again with her eyes, her vaginal muscle activity, vaginal pulse amplitude, and respiration rate reached their highest values of the night, and they were considerably elevated in comparison to the rest of the REM period. But her heart rate only increased slightly. But they're like, yeah, it happened. It was real. It's a thing. Apparently, if you can teach yourself to lucid dream and hook up, you just might actually come in real life.
But if your heart rate doesn't increase, then I don't get the workout out of it.
Right. No, that's true.
Yeah, okay. All
that's
right.
true.
I'm doing it
Is
for
that the only cardio you get these days?
You know,
like, taking it?
Sometimes I walk up the elevator. I just am imagining the doctors being like, okay, here's the thing. We want you to go to sleep and then fuck Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Let us know about it so we can look at your hoo-ha. Yeah. You're very unique in that way. Was he a person in 83 or 86 or whatever?
No, I think his first role was in Thelma and Louise, which was later.
All right. Well, George Clooney.
He was hot in that, though. He was the cowboy. Yeah.
I'd seen those pictures. What was the other thing?
Oh, wet dream porn poetry. The ancient Romans thought nocturnal emissions were awesome.
Oh.
And Titus Lucretius Carus, De Rerum Natura, Book 4, has this poem in it.
Okay, you said a name in a book.
Yes.
You don't need to say it again. Okay, Great.
Again, those males, into the surging channels of whose years now first has passed the seed, engendered within their members by the ripened days, are in their sleep confronted from without by idol images of some fair form, tidings of glorious face and lovely bloom, which stir and goad the regions turgid now with seed abundant, so that, as it were, with all the matter acted duly out, they pour the billows of a potent stream and stain their garment.
Wow.
Ode to a Wet Dream by some old dead Roman guy.
Early poetry. Wow. He was talking about when men do this. He didn't say like dreaming about a man, right?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I don't like when people refer to cum as seed.
Right.
Just any, or like if they verb it, like I'm going to seed you, just any of that is like.
How do you feel about pour the billows of a potent stream?
I mean, that's just sexy.
The ancient Jews, if you had a nocturnal emission, you had to go outside the camp, take a ritual bath, and then couldn't come back to camp until after dark.
Wow.
That's
they
in
were
Leviticus.
They were like, no.
They're like, no, you dirty.
You're the devil.
Do not. Yep.
Again, like all of the religion hates natural things that happen to people.
If it has to do with your pee-pee or your hoo-ha, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
we're going to pretend like that's bad so that you're not allowed to. Okay.
Except St. Augustine of the ancient Christians said that masturbation pollutes the conscience of a man, but nocturnal emissions do not. It's not a voluntary carnal act, and so it's not a sin.
So you're just like, no, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
No, I'm asleep. I'm just, choo, choo, choo. Oh, so asleep. La, la. So asleep.
Wet dreams are not a sin in Islam, and apparently if you jack off during Ramadan, then you're considered to have broken your fast, but if you have a wet dream during Ramadan, that's okay.
Again, so sleepy. I'm tired. I'm so asleep right now. Okay.
And in European folklore, nocturnal emissions were believed to be caused by a succubus copulating with the individual at night. So a succubus came and fucked you. That's why you came.
What's a succubus?
A demon, a lady demon, a sexy lady demon.
It sucks your bus.
Yeah.
A sexy lady demon. All right. Like, it's just crazy. Like, it is or is not a sin. Like, it's so nuts to me that, like, you have no control. Like, you're just saying, like, I don't know, you have two eyes, sin. Like, it just happened. It's just,
you looked at a sexy person, pluck one of your eyes out.
Yeah, it's over for you. All right. Well, some people were down with it.
Yeah. So wet dreams. They're funky, they're weird, they're gross, they're awesome. I wish I had more of them. I'm going to go get a shot now.
And if you really are into what boys' underwear looks like afterwards.
It's so disturbing.
I don't want to see that.
It was so disturbing I had to share it with everyone. I got to get a beer.
Okay.
Is that okay?
No.
What if I sleepwalk to the fridge?
What if I have a wet dream in your beer?
Oh God. Okay. I'm never letting you bring me beer ever again.
One of them's open, and you're like,
Thanks, Kyle. Oh.
trash.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Mike.
I talked a lot about wet dreams, and I'm not sorry.
Get out your sponges because it's about to be wet.
It's your turn.
I'm going to talk a little bit more about having a gay dream when you're straight or straight dream when you're
Yeah.
gay. So have you ever had a dream with a woman? A sex dream about a woman?
Yes, and it was during puberty.
Oh.
And I remember thinking to myself, thank God it's finally happening.
Oh, that's
What?
the saddest thing you've ever said.
And then it never happened again.
Oh my God. Because I get that too. I remember only started believing in God, I think, so I could pray to be straight again. And if you had any kind
That's the saddest thing that's ever been said.
oh no, I thought we were just going to do this fun, lighthearted topic about, but I didn't get, it's probably good that I didn't get any reassurance that it's cool, but to get that dream, I can see how that could have put so many doubts in your mind then.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Do you want to hear the whole dream?
Yeah.
Okay. So growing up at my house, it was probably junior high, early high school. My grandparents got rid of their pool. It was an above ground pool, and so we moved it to our house. So we had a pool in the backyard and a deck. And I mean, it was pretty ghetto. It was a above ground kind of out in the pasture. It was ghetto. Anyway, in this dream, I was swimming and there was this lady. She was super tan and really slimy, like oiled up, like suntan lotion or whatever.
Okay.
And she was laying on the deck while I was swimming, and she spread her legs open and I could see her vagina. And then she said, "You may enter."
It's like reverse Gandalf.
None shall pass.
None shall pass. You may enter.
Yeah, and then I just like pet her back. We didn't.
Is that a euphemism?
I guess I don't know, but anyway, I seriously was like, oh, I had a naked lady dream. Great.
So straight.
So I'm so straight now.
Oh man.
Not.
No.
Nope.
That didn't work out. It only delayed the inevitable. Because I have a horrible memory, I definitely had sex dreams about women, and I don't remember a distinct one, but yeah, they're always made me be like, why? That's weird.
Mm-hmm. I take that back.
You pet more than her back?
I don't know. So I was thinking when you asked the question, I was thinking pleasant, sexy dreams about women, but I had many my ex-wife is hate fucking me dreams.
Oh shit.
After we broke up, it was bad. It was traumatic and horrible. She was raping me, and I think that part of me wants to say that that's a different category than what you're talking about.
No. I mean, I'm talking about it all.
She was naked and sex things were happening, so I suppose, I don't know whether to count that or not. They were just so violent and really disturbing, and it was pretty awful.
No, I think that's one that sucks. Because dreams, you wake up with the feeling. When you're naked in class, you wake up with holy shit, and you're like, oh, I'm fine. So that they actually affect your real life. So that must be shitty to but I think that's a good example of how they represent something else that's not sex. So this leads me to the only really specific example I could find. I read some dumb dream analysts list that ended up being super gender specific. It was if you dream about sex with a man, it might be that you're interested in making more money or being more assertive. And it's just
God.
really?
Wow.
I know. And
okay.
It's if it's a woman, you might be wanting to be more sensitive.
Maybe you want to be a better chef.
Have you thought about
doing some laundry?
Quitting math? What are you talking about? Anyway, this seemed a little bit more legit. An article on parents.com by Holly Robinson.
That's a pretty normal sounding name.
Yep.
Okay.
We have nothing to say about that. I knew a Haley Robinson.
Yeah.
In college.
Was she a bitch?
No, she's really sweet.
Okay, good. That sounds actually Holly's I know only good hollies.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Oh, so let's just think about them. We're going to both have a dream about Holly tonight. So I'm going to talk about pregnant sex dreams.
Who's pregnant?
Real life pregnant.
Pregnant women.
Women, yeah, yeah.
Well, I guess men can be pregnant now.
Yeah,
But yeah, okay.
So Sally Foley, a sex therapist, said once you're pregnant, you're really focused when you're, I was going to say as a woman or a man or a non-binary person that just has a vagina or can do that.
Can we just say it's easier to, like...
It's okay. I don't know. We got that out of the way, so you know what we're talking about now. We're cool, everybody.
Yeah.
We're cool. We're above board. So now that you're pregnant, she said you're going to be really focused on your body, and your dreams reflect that you love the new life your body is creating. So there's a lot about your body. You think about your body a lot and what's happening to it. She says you're discovering that...
That sounds awful.
I know. I want to ignore my body as much as possible. So yeah, I should not get pregnant. I look like I have. But, quote, you are discovering that a woman's body is pleasurable, exciting, and powerful in ways you've never experienced before. So in that, if you think about I should have clarified, this sex dream with a woman, when you're a straight female, it's not that you want to fuck ladies. It's you're thinking about your body for the first, not for the first time, but like in a deeper, different way than you ever have. And that's coming to light in your dream through a female form that you're intimate with. Like, so I think, to me, I really like thinking about dreams in that way. It's not the physical thing. It's, what does this represent? And that's an interesting... seemed like the most legit, scientific one that I could find about same-sex dreams when you're straight.
Yeah. Absolutely. Is that your segment?
That's my segment.
Okay.
I'm sorry I didn't talk enough about wet dreams in that one, like you did, but I think you covered it. Do ladies have wet dreams?
Yes. So ladies experience vaginal lubrication while they're asleep, and then will sometimes wake up having an orgasm. There's some contention about whether they have to have an orgasm in order for it to count as a wet dream. Researchers are sort of split on whether just getting wet should count. For ladies.
Well, I would think if they're wet, there's some kind of arousal taking place. So
right, but like you also, I wake up with boners pretty often, but that doesn't mean I had a wet dream.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
they have a wetometer. Just like, ooh, it's damp. That's a 9.
Interesting.
Anyway,
where are we? What are we doing?
I'm done. You're doing whatever you want. You have the floor. You have the table. You have the podcast.
Okay. So first, I found this person. So it was actually a straight guy that had written into this columnist to ask about. I had a dream about gay sex, and then she goes through this whole thing about like all of the things that it might have been that weren't. You want to fuck a dude,
yeah.
Right? Which is just exactly to your point. So rather than doing that, I think we should interpret some dreams ourselves.
Ooh, okay.
So, disclaimer: we are not experts.
No, we're not even dream analysts.
Right. We know nothing.
Although maybe just the act of analyzing a dream makes you a dream analyst. I don't know that there's like a degree that you get in that.
Oh, just like being a priest. Okay. So, do you want to interpret one of mine, or do you want to interpret something from one of our listeners?
I want to do some listeners.
Okay.
I want to do some listeners.
Great.
So
first, let's go with Tyler Misek wrote in.
Are we saying people's names?
I asked him if it was okay.
Oh, look at you. You're more on top of your podcast game than ever before.
Thank you.
Having a job might make you like just more.
Tyler Misek said, when I was younger, first of all, I asked him if it was okay to say his name. And he said yes, and then I said, how do you pronounce it? Because it's a weird... It's not a weird spelling, but it's like a spelling that I could easily fuck up. And he said, I listen to your podcast, so obviously I don't get easily offended.
Good point, Tyler Masuck.
Oh, God. Here's his dream. You ready?
Yeah.
When I was younger, I had a recurring nightmare where I was at the YMCA. I would get changed and go to the pool area to find out I was the only one there, and the doors leaving the pool area locked. Suddenly, the walls started moving in, pushing me closer to the pool, and that is when I noticed the alligators in the pool. I would become trapped on the diving board with nowhere to go other than the alligator-filled pool when I would wake up.
Ah, shit.
What do you think that's about?
I mean, I think he really just... I mean, I think he turned out to be an alligator tamer. He just learned that he would have to control the alligators in order to really succeed at life.
Yeah.
And also just stay outside, which is where alligators usually live. Nailed it. No, okay.
I thought maybe you've been playing too much Lara Croft or Pitfall Harry video games where like you have to jump on the alligators' heads to get across the water. And really it's no more complicated than that.
Yeah. It all comes back to Lara Croft. If we said it once, we've said it a dozen times. No, that to me feels like being trapped. Like, you know, you're trapped in a situation that seems inescapable and, you know, there's things on all sides. So do we know if Tyler's gay or straight or... You're a little gay if you're in our group. Even the straight people have to agree. Anyway, like, okay, that doesn't really matter. But like, if you were gay, that could, and younger, that could, you know, that could explain it. You're feeling trapped. You're alone. You don't know how to handle this. But even if you're not gay, or even if you were gay and you're totally cool with it because you're so advanced and, you know, you could be like you're trapped because you're in a college program that you don't actually like, but your parents are making you do, or you're trapped because you're in a relationship that you don't want to be in.
Yeah, there is no escape. The feeling that there is no escape.
Yeah, the feeling I feel every day of my life. Which one was sadder, the last thing or this thing? But anyway.
Yeah, that's an awful feeling.
Yeah, and it's always like, but he didn't say like, and then I got eaten. Like I feel like things in dreams always end right before, like nothing ever happens, and I only just connected. It's because you haven't resolved this thing yet. Like. If you're trapped in a situation, you don't know if you've gotten eaten by alligators yet. Like you're still working through this thing. So there isn't an ending quite yet, which is why you need to process it. I'm a genius. I certify myself dream analyst. Kyle Getz, DA.
Okay. So I asked this person if I could use their name. They have not gotten back to me, so I'm not going to say their name.
Okay.
Great. I had a dream a couple of different times as a kid where I was operating like a giant toy train set that was big enough for me to be on it. I would get to the top of a building where a kind of clown, but not really a clown, was waiting, and he was going to kill my dad. Every time I got there, I knew it was too late, and I knew he killed my dad. And then suddenly, I was at the beginning of the tracks, and it happened all over again.
Oh my God.
I think I've had some mental distress for quite some time, smiley face.
Love it. Everything's horrible, smiley.
Yeah.
Okay, dreams where family members die I've had them, and one of the most traumatic times was when I dreamt my dad was dead, and all I did in the dream was cry and cry and cry. And when I woke up, it was like I was distressed. Like I was emotionally, physically distressed after that. So like, and then to have it on repeat, like that. Yeah. This sounds like in American Horror Story Apocalypse. Or in the American Horror Story Coven, when they go down to, like, they send you to hell and you just have to relive a horrible moment over and over and over. And that's what hell is like forever. Man, it sounds like one of those. Yep.
Sisyphus.
No, I got that cleared up.
There's a shot for that. Sisyphean dream, Sisyphus. Anyway, Sisyphus is...
Saying the word many, many times does not help me.
I had a dream where I had to use my tongue like that a whole bunch.
Really?
Is my ex-wife. Anyway, okay.
On her vagina?
Yeah.
Oh!
But she was making me. Anyway, okay. So, Sisyphus, in Greek mythology, Sisyphus was punished by the gods by being forced to take a boulder and push it up a hill and make it to the top of the hill, but he would never make it to the top of the hill, and then the next day would wake up and have to start it all over again. That's the story of Sisyphus.
I recognize his name barely.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a Sisyphean dream. So this dream about the train set, I think it's really interesting where, like, are you lazy because you're riding a train? Like, it's not like you have to walk up to the top of the building. Like, you caught a ride. You're like hitchhiking on this giant toy train.
But no, that's the most efficient way to go save your dad. You're not going to walk up when there's a train coming by. You hop on that train.
But it's a building. It doesn't have an elevator.
Oh, this is a building?
He would get to the top of a building.
Oh, I was picturing a mountain, even in spite of what he...
And kind of a clown, but not really a clown. How do you feel about clowns?
Oh my God. Okay. Do you know my feelings about clowns? And that's
No.
why. I hate clowns. They're terrifying. I actually hate anything that is wearing something where I can't see their face. Like going to what's that theater, Gromit's Theater, something that has all the actors outside pretending to be all the famous characters in LA or whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, or Disneyland. That's an easier example I could have
You're
gone
talking
with.
about Man's Chinese Theater?
Maybe.
Okay, great.
Like anything where they're like wearing a mask or like a head or like furries would not be my jam. Cause like who's in there and are they going to stab me or not?
Okay.
I hate, yeah.
I mean,
So I don't feel great about them is my
the scourge of furry deaths, like furry caused
furry
deaths.
murders.
Yeah.
Furders.
Furders. Awesome.
Yeah. So I hate clowns. So this would be terrifying to me. And I kind of like my dad.
So it's the repeating it over and over again part of this dream that I think is really interesting because we think of death as being final.
Yeah.
And if you got to the top and you knew that this clown thing had killed your dad, and then you got back to the beginning and your dream state reset so that now suddenly your dad is alive again and you have another chance to maybe save him.
Huh.
Or he's not, like, he's alive again. That's really interesting. It makes me wonder if perhaps you've disappointed your dad over and over again or feel like you've disappointed your dad over and over again. And
or not even your dad. Like, what does your dad represent?
Right.
Does he represent, as this asshole dream analyst said, does he represent making money or masculine? No. But like, does your dad represent, relationships, or did he leave and he represents abandonment? And yeah, but I agree, like, that there's some kind of pattern. Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to do, a little bit silly, but we're also kind of trying to seriously analyze these. I hope you all don't take any of this seriously because we don't know the fuck we're talking about. Why don't we do ours?
Okay. So we were on Davey Wavy's show night before last, and night before last I had a dream that involved him.
Sex dream?
It wasn't a sex dream. No. In fact, he was clothed the whole time, and I'm kind of mad about it.
Yeah. It's like, why would you waste a dream about Davey Wavy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were going to be doing another recording of our podcast with him, but it was at
we are going to do.
Right. It was at his grandma's house in Colfax, Washington, which is like over by Spokane. I doubt he has a grandma that lives there. And then for whatever reason, we were carpooling with my mom and both of my brothers. And then we felt obligated to have them on the podcast also. So we met Davey Wavy's grandma, and she was very sweet, but she was clearly like needed help. Like she was kind of not all there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so we recorded the podcast, and grandma was like taking a nap or something, and then mom like totally dominated the podcast. I was really anxious about how to get her to shut up so that Davey could talk, especially because we didn't even want my family like necessarily to be on it at all. They just happened to be there.
Did this really happen? This all doesn't sound too far. I mean, ignore the grandma part.
And
sorry, Mike's family. I love you.
So then, Davey like had to leave. He was going to like some porn conference or something. I don't know. And so then like we're there at his grandma's house, and there's shredded old Christmas trees everywhere in this place, and little tiny pieces of paper all over the place. And somehow I knew that we had caused it.
Yeah.
So it was this race of like, we've got to clean up all of this shit, or he's going to be mad at us and never talk to us ever again.
Yeah.
And we fucked up his grandma's house. She's a nice old lady. We're horrible people.
Yeah. I mean, but if she's not all with it, just be like, it snowed. And she'd be like, but we're inside. And be like, you don't, it snows inside now. I hear a lot of guilt coming through of like, oh, I feel guilty that you're not on this, so let me put you on it anyway. Or I'm guilty that I did this thing, so I need to clean it up before you find out I did it. Mm-hmm. Like everything you're saying has that, like, not only like feeling guilty about it, but then trying to fix it, even if you don't really want to, or even if you didn't actually cause the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and to your point, another part of the dream, my youngest brother, Murph, he was really upset that we had to clean up all of this shit, and I've got places to be, and so I mean, it's a dream, so shit doesn't make sense. I drove him all the way back to Seattle, which in real life, that's like a 5-hour drive. Drove him all the way back to Seattle, and then drove all the way back to finish up the cleaning.
I like that you're like, that's unrealistic that I would drive him 5 hours. That's the illogical part. No, there's like a lot of guilt and what you do for people, even if you don't want to help keep them happy with you, or...
Yeah, and so I wonder...
Does that resonate at all?
Yes,
with
it
you?
really does. And one thing that comes to mind, I wonder if it's a lot of the stuff that I've read says that it's stuff that happened to you that day that your brain is trying to process. I don't think that's true. I think that it can be like recently as opposed to just the last day. And I wonder if it's stuff about my birthday party. I had so much guilt about like having people come there, and my brother was there and had to drive, and then like all of the money that we spent on steak dinner. I had that dinner was actually pretty horrible for me because I was like worried about how expensive that place was instead of just enjoying it. Like I had a lot of like guilt about all of these other people's feelings that were involved in that. And I wonder if this dream was like to do with, if some of that was part of it. That
would make a lot of sense. I would totally understand. And I also understand what it's like to have guilt over or worry about other people's feelings that you can't control. Can I tell you the truth? Yeah. Not what your stupid brain says? Yeah. Let me help you by putting you down. That's how we work, right? Yeah. Everyone, it's almost like you feel guilty that everyone decided and wants to be there for you. Like everyone chose to do it. The people that couldn't go or didn't want to, didn't. And so everyone was there for you and happy to be there for you. And everyone chose to go to the steak dinner, and we knew what we were getting into. Like, you're a kind person that cares about other people's feelings and worries about them, which I think is like the older brother of you and like a really good thing that you have. But part of it is just like, but we also all made our own decisions and wanted to do it, and we all enjoyed it so much. That's the consistent thing that everyone's said. Yeah. Yeah. Solved it. Let's do your dream. I have a lot of fucked up dreams, and I know everyone says that, but then I like tell people my dreams, and then they're like, oh, okay. More fucked up than your dad dying? That was one of the more fucked up ones. I was going to ask you if that was before or after he had his stroke. Before. Wow. Yeah. So I was already... Any dead dad dreams since? No. Interesting. Yeah. Maybe you faced his mortality and are at peace with it. Oh, no. Okay. I don't think so. The recent... like just dream that actually affected my life for like half a day. I had a dream that I would, in the dream, wake up in my bed, which that alone, when you wake up in your dream in the place you're actually sleeping, like that's so messed up. Like it just throws you off balance. I kept waking up in my bed like Groundhog Day, and just something else was happening. The police were busting into my apartment. Something basic, like I woke up and had to go to work. I woke up and Jack's there. I woke up and, like all these different scenarios that kept happening. And so finally I was like, still in my dream, woke up and I was like, am I in a dream or is this real life? And I remember as I closed the door, I was going to work. I held up my key and I touched the edges of the key, the teeth of the key, and thought to myself, okay, I can feel this key. I can feel the edges. I know this is real life. Yeah. Yeah. And then I woke up for real. Yeah. And I was like, I mean, at that point, it's real. But Inception. Like, to have had a moment in my dream where I thought, I know for sure that this is real life. Like for half a day, I was just off. I just like, it messed me up. Yeah. Yeah. Interpret that one, Freud. You are afraid that you can't trust your perceptions of reality. Ah, shit. I didn't expect you to be so insightful. And or you like keys. I haven't told you this before. I swallow keys because I love the feeling of pooping them out. It's very sexual. God. It's called key play. Keelatio. Keelatio. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. I shouldn't. Maybe that's my brain being like, yo, don't, like, instead of I'm worried about my perception, maybe my brain is being like, don't trust your perception of reality. Maybe it's trying to send me a message or something. Yeah. Yeah. That would make sense. I mean, I told you I've just recently been like coming out of my like deep depression. So
Yeah.
not trusting my own feelings and thoughts.
Yeah. Or whether you can trust that things are better.
Yeah.
Like you're still asleep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fine.
And you don't know it.
It's actually fine. Like, I think I'm awake and going to work and worried about that, but I'm actually asleep. So, like, I'm stressed about things, but they're actually fine.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually is helpful.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I haven't thought about it. I was just like, I did have another dream after that where I, like, kept waking up in my dream. And it's really fucking annoying because it fucks you up. But that's neither here nor there.
I had a dream recently that I was eating my own teeth.
There's something, what is teeth? Oh, when your teeth are shaky in your dream, I think it means you're pregnant. So,
yeah.
Congratulations.
Great.
Let's have a gender reveal party in 5 years because you got to wait till the kid is born before you know their gender.
It's a boy, probably.
Maybe. Yeah, most likely. But you don't know.
Do you want to do any more listener ones?
Yeah, one you really want to get to?
Well, okay. We'll end with a joke one. This person thinks they're being funny, and they kind of are.
Okay.
I have a recurring dream where I'm on a train heading into a tunnel. The train is full of nothing but Navy seamen. I'm on all fours in the caboose, and I'm intensely sucking on the business end of a big fat cigar. The train goes partially into the tunnel, then backs out again, then back in and back out again. It does this repeatedly. I have no idea what the dream could mean. Oh yeah, the name of the train is the Queen of Rosé.
I really don't think that has anything sexual about it, so I don't think that fits with our topic.
Sometimes a train is just a train.
I think you listened to our episode about Amtrak deaths, episode 70, and you're just worried about that. You're worried, and that's why you don't want to go into the tunnel of darkness, because you might die. So I would say to that person, avoid all public transportation.
Do you want to take a break?
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
Fall asleep.
I'm going to dream something else. This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break. Robert Owens wrote in and said, so this dream may have been one of the first things that clued me into my sexuality. When I was a kid, around 7 to 10 years old, I used to have this recurring dream that I was living in the jungle with Tarzan. I was a big fan of the Disney movie Tarzan when I was a kid. I'm 24, don't hate me for my youth. And the dreams would always involve me exploring the jungle on my own when I would get attacked by a group of monkeys, just like Jane in the movie. Tarzan would then come and save me and hold me in his arms. I'd always wake up feeling super excited, and I used to love having those Tarzan dreams as a kid. I think the loincloths had a lot to do with the excitement. Anyways, how'd I not realize I was gay as shit until I was 20? Love the pod. Keep it up. P.S. My sides still ache from Mike's bunny comments about Easter. Jesus fucking Christ. And then in all caps, I know you don't know me, but you're both my friends.
Oh,
Robbie.
That's true. I have lots of friends that don't know that I'm their friend. That's really interesting because we've been saying like, no, it's not about being gay. It doesn't mean that, but like it could, you know, like we didn't like, yes, it could if you wake up and you're like, man, I really liked being in Tarzan's arms. That was fun. I want to do that. Like,
yeah, you
know, maybe it does mean you're gay. So it probably doesn't if you have a sex dream, but it might.
I think gay, okay, or whatever that guy said. Never mind.
What?
Do you remember that?
No. Oh. It's like, hello, hot dog gay is okay or something.
Yeah.
Like weird like that. I forget that.
If
you, after hearing this, want to, I mean, we can't read it on the air, obviously, but if you want to go into our Facebook group and post your own dream on the thread, facebook.com/groups/gayish podcast. And maybe Mike and I, or maybe with our listeners' help, we'll try to interpret them.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised at how many people responded and how quickly they responded. Maybe this is a regular segment.
Yeah, maybe. If y'all like this, let us know so we can keep incorporating your things you like into it.
Are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
Do you want to do our gays and straightest?
Let's do our gays and straightest. Oh, but first, our website is gayishpodcast.com.
All the social media stuff is at Gayish Podcast, including Twitter, Instagram, YouTube,
Facebook groups.
And we have Facebook group at /groups/Gayish Podcast. There's not that whole section. I need to figure out a good way to say that because I'm real bad at it. Okay.
Our hotline is 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply. Send us a text message. Leave us a voicemail. Blah, 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 blah.
Our email is blah, blah, at blah, blah, gayishpodcast@gmail.com.
Bob Loblaw's blog.
Bob Loblaw's law blog. There was another one that it kept it. Anyway, Arrested Development. It's funny. Watch that. Gayest and Straightest?
Oh, wait.
Before
Before we do our gayest and straightest,
Uh-huh.
I've been contemplating this. I wonder if I tell the podcast audience about my diet and exercise goals, if that would provide the accountability that I need in my life to do it.
Oh, shit. Well, on My Favorite Murder, they do this cool thing where it's like a yoga challenge. Doesn't have to be yoga.
Fuck yoga.
Yoga's just because you pretend you're a tree doesn't make you spiritual. Oh, there's a breeze. But like they do. The point is, you know, it's like a challenge of like, hey, everyone, try to do this at least one time this week, and everyone posts in the group if they did it or not. So
Yeah.
it could do like something that I'm not going to participate because I'm not going to exercise. But you could do like what maybe just like one goal for the week. Post it, and by the next episode, and let us know if y'all did it too, and that can be like a accountability thing.
Yeah, I'm down.
Do you have a goal?
So it's always something, right? Like first it was I was going to wait until after my birthday, and then it was I was going to wait until I got this job thing figured out, and then it was going to be next week I'm in San Francisco all week for work, and
Then holidays,
and then
that's
it's the holidays
yeah.
and blah blah blah. So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do, but I do want to get back on keto because that was working for me,
Yeah.
and drop some weight again.
But like, what's the goal? Like a goal during the week, like by the time the next episode airs, that is reasonable.
Oh,
How about like do some form of exercise for 30 minutes once?
oh, yeah, okay.
So, because, I mean, I feel like people can make it into too big of a thing. And then it's just like, if you're like, I want to drop 500 pounds or whatever. I mean, I say that because I know you were going to pick something unreasonable because your expectations are too high. But I just said a bunch of stuff real quick. We're not going to go into that. But yeah, like, so if you want to do that too, maybe just, you know, we'll start a thread or something in our group if we're on top of things, and just post like what you plan to do, and then the next week let us know if you did that. That's cool, right?
I think what I want to do.
Oh, are you changing the name of the game?
Yes, I agree with you.
Okay.
I do that, and you're right. But I also think it would be fun to have like a 2019 gayish weight loss challenge.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Why don't we like gear up to that by just doing a few things, and maybe in our 100th episode,
Yep.
which is our Q&A episode, maybe we can like kind of do an actual bigger thing.
Yeah.
I love that. So this week, at least, like, try to do a thing. Let us know what the thing is, and if you do it, and then we'll all start thinking about our 2019 goals, and we'll talk about them in like Q&A episode.
And my small goal, because it just came to me, while I'm in San Francisco, my hotel is half a mile from work, and I'm not going to Uber.
Oh,
I'm going to walk to and from work every day.
to and fro. That's a good goal.
Yeah. Okie doke.
Also, 100th episode, speaking of, send in your questions. We have a lot of great questions, and it's a challenge because we're going to pick the best one. So, you know, if you got picked, you're great.
I would like nothing more than to A, your cues.
Put your Q inside of my A. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Apparently people like knowing stuff about us. I always am just like, that's stupid. Oh, let's just move past that. But like, I guess people want to know about us or something.
Apparently people think that we're their friends.
We're their friends. Oh, I mean, it's funny because you've said you only listen to this podcast. So you're like, oh, I'm their friend.
Yeah.
That's true. Anyway, yeah, send in your questions.
Please do.
Please do.
The weirder, the better.
That's true. Do you want to do gayest and straightest?
Let's do our gayest and straightest. I'll go first. I haven't gone first in a while.
Yeah.
So the gayest thing about me this week, a listener sent me underwear, and
I know that.
I clapped like a little girl when I opened the package.
Wait, with your ass?
How do you clap with your ass?
Oh my God. Do you not know about this?
I'm so
Ass clapping? Like you, like, we'll look at videos later.
It's not like when your ass hits the pelvic bone of the dude that's fucking you.
No. I mean, I think that's a thing too, but this is like on the dance floor where you can make your booty clap.
It's like twerking, but better.
but it
Makes sound.
but it supports whoever's performing at the time.
Great. Okay. Neat.
That's really cool that someone sent you something.
And he's hot.
I don't have. Do you want to keep that in? Do you want to let him know?
He knows I think he's hot.
Okay. I haven't gotten underwear, but that's fine.
Yeah. Great. And then the straightest thing about me this week, I have been thinking a lot about like my diet and exercise life and getting it together. And I have a job now, and like I'm doing really well actually. Like I'm like a Mike Johnson 7.
Oh, great!
I
Out of
10.
Okay.
But I think that's like a normal person 5 probably. But anyway.
Yeah.
So there's a fitness center at my building.
Oh, no way.
Where I work, and so I asked if I could take a tour of it before signing up for it. And I went downstairs, and the straightest thing about me this week is I just said, yeah, you don't have a squat rack, that doesn't work for me.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
I mean, you can use that like on off, like you can use that sometimes, right? Or you do squats every time?
Like most of the time.
Wow.
So I have a giant ass.
I get mine from my mama. But you can use that on occasion if you don't want to like go all the way to something else.
That's true, but I have to pay for it.
Oh, gotcha.
Anyway.
My gayest thing is, do you remember when I talked about Jack?
Yeah.
He's my boyfriend.
Your boyfriend Jack, who is your boyfriend?
He's my boyfriend. And he watched Real Housewives.
Okay, which one? There's like 8 of them now or whatever.
You know, one of the ones, there were like a lot of women in it, and they were housewives, and they argued. So that one.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember.
Great.
And I was like, oh, I watched it, and it was like so stupid, but I like, their problems are so whatever. Okay, we started watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Okay.
And girl, shit changed. I was like, first I started liking Lisa Rinna, and then as the more seasons went on, I was like, oh my God, she's a manipulative. Like, she's just thinks she can apologize for whatever she said. Lisa Vanderbilt is just an adorable British bitch. And my favorite person, not because of the obvious reason, but is Kyle. She's a lady named Kyle. I just gated up so hard. You
Yeah.
didn't even know what to do with yourself.
No. I think the gayest thing about me next week is going to be that I made it through that.
There were just, I was like, I started watching the reunion, and I had watched the other things reunion, and I was like, this is so fucking dumb and whatever, and I can't believe I'm even doing this. And this time I was like, this is so fucking dumb, and I can't believe I'm doing this. Yeah. And the whole thing with the bunny, which I'm like I have not watched the bunny.
Do I want to know about this?
No, it's too much for me to explain.
Okay.
Someone returned a gift someone gave, but let me tell you about it.
Okay.
Someone gave someone back a gift that she had given them on the reunion special right after they had made up and were friends. And then she was like, that's a dick move. And now they're not friends.
Okay, listeners, if you know what Kyle's talking about and care, please talk to him so I don't have to.
Fair. Maybe the entire point of this is so you don't have to deal with these specific things. The straightest thing about me, which I told you I was going to use right when it happened before this, is one of my friends is getting engaged, which is super awesome.
Yep.
She sent over a ring, which is
a picture of the ring.
Oh, she didn't send me her ring. No. Yeah, she sent a picture of a ring, and it's different. It's blue, and it's not like your normal just diamond ring. And you asked whether it was sapphire or diamond. Mm-hmm. And it's blue. And it looks kind of shiny. I am not good at the whole ring. Like, I don't know, there's a half circle on it's like goldish.
Yeah.
And there's like it goes around her finger.
Yeah, like rings do.
Like rings, like some rings do. There was no pop on it, so that's unique. So not a ring guy. Or jewelry of any kind, really. What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Oh, God. That's it. A special thank you, as always, to Charlie Finn for the use of our theme music.
And thanks to Freud, who had lots of opinions that mostly involved your penis and your mom.
Thank you to Sonic Fox for being just a fucking badass.
Yeah, he wins. And, thanks to you for being not you, Mike.
Oh, you're looking at me.
Oh, I'm always looking at you. Thanks to you, dear listener, and not Mike. No, thanks to you too, Mike. You do this every week with me and bounce around when I'm like, I can't do this today. Thank you, Mike. And also all the listeners for listening. We really appreciate you. We appreciate when you write in. We appreciate when you're in the group. We appreciate talking to you.
We appreciate your dreams.
We appreciate your dreams, both sleep-wise and future goals. So thanks.
This has been Gayish. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you. See you next week.
See you next week.
Back it up and hear me as I will sing. Hey, and by the way, do you hear what your words bring? Oh, P.S. I'm gay-ish.
Kyle, take your leg off and give it to me.
Robot Grandma, what are you doing here? Oh shit, it got dark.
Yeah, it did.
Damn.